Welcome back to Rocket Power, Team Rocket Rescue. This time, we're doing the rest of the game, because there's not that much to this game. We're doing Stage 3, we're being Reggie, and we're doing the stadium level. Which, surprise, surprise, is just a score one. So, yeah, and it's with the bike as well. So, I don't have that much to say anymore. Because, this literally is just the same shit now. In fact, this game starts getting really repetitive, even though we're going to new areas. It just feels the same. I mean, yeah, but the stadium here, you know, it's a neat little mess of a fucking skate park, I guess. Also, that's really unfortunate. That is a really unfortunate position to be in.
Number 1.
Yeah, I'm positive you sure are, Reggie. Yeah, you sure are number 1. She's not. She's really not. Anyway, as you can tell, all I have to do here is not fuck up, which easier said than done, and just to make sure I can get my shit done with this. Which so far, I think it's happening. It's just, you know, a little awkward. There we go. Toast! The show always had those very, like, splash screens and all of that. They were never shit like Toast. But they were, you know, they were fun, at the very least. They had an effect to them and all the time, and they were kind of like video effects sort of things. That's the thing. It was, in a way, it was like very 90s, but also very VHS-ish with its effects and such when it came to those little splash screens. Like, they were recording with a fucking VHS camera, I'm pretty sure. So, they were definitely of the fucking time. But yeah, the Toast thing is just stupid. It's really stupid. Anyway, I did not get the head in this run. I'll get it, after this run, unfortunately. There's a lot of area to explore in. So, I mean, this is quite a big area. I mean, this is a big tower. Look at this fucking thing. The only issue is, you know, everything about this grind is weird. I'm not a huge fan of it. And if I don't get, you know, down there, like, normally, unfortunately, grinding down is extremely slow. Because grinding sucks in this game. I don't know if you noticed that, but grinding sucks in this game. Also, the voice acting kind of sucks. Sometimes they sound more high-pitched than they should. Like, they don't sound that way in the actual show. They don't sound that young in the voice. But they kind of just up the pitch a bit for some reason. Anyway, Reggie's done. Oh, it wasn't Bear. I think it was Sputs. Fucking Sputs. Just these names, my god. Anyway, Slalom. But before we do Slalom, we have to do Stadium. Because we missed ahead. We missed an unlockable character. And it's an unlockable character you're not really going to figure out. Because you're probably thinking, it's going to be another fucking Rocket Power character, you know? Maybe you're thinking, it's the neighbors, you know? Because the neighbors were definitely a character, a set of characters that appeared frequently in the show. The male one was very much an asshole to the Rockets. But, no, it's not the neighbors, even though you would think that. And it's not really anyone that only makes a small appearance in the show, really. It is mainly just characters that are main characters of the show. I mean, you could potentially say that Lars' gang isn't quite that, but they are usually around with Lars, and Lars is like a pretty frequent character of the show. Also, I somehow got out there, that's neat. But yeah, no, it's actually someone that isn't even in the Rocket Power show, like, at all. I wonder if you saw it just then, because it's always their faces. I mean, it was upside down and Reggie's in the way, and you only had like a split second to see it. And yeah, you had to do that to get that, and you cannot land from that, by the way. The fucking game just fucks you right after you get that. It's great. But yeah, we'll find out what I just fucking grabbed. Don't worry, we'll fucking find out. But just know that there are 2 characters that are not from Rocket Power that are in this game. I don't know why. It might have to do with the fact that they also have a game on the PS1. I think a few games, actually. But other than that, nah, I don't know why they're here. I really fucking don't. Anyway, back to Reggie. Because now we're going back into stage 3 for the Slalom. Which is gonna be another fucking go through the gates sort of race thing. It's harder than the first one. I remember, because this is Xindictive, actually. Oh, wait. We are challenged to a race. We're gonna take over. If you do not come in first, you have to drop out of the next competition. We are being challenged to a race all of a sudden. We're using our roller skates, and we are going against Lars' team, because we have to fucking take him on in a downhill, like, road map, essentially. I definitely remember this being a thing, but it was like a more of a straight line sort of deal. Like a very deep straight line. You go up the very top of the hill and you get to the Rocket family's house, I believe it was. And I think they did like a fucking, like a car race down there or something like that. I forgot. There were a lot of different sports and shit going on, some stunts and all, that it's been a long time since I've actually watched Rocket Powers, so I don't quite remember. But I think there was one where either Sam or Otto raced down the street from the very top of it down to the bottom, I think. I don't remember much of that, though. Anyway, here's a trick. Grind that to get those, and you can actually make the jump. If you try to make the jump normally, you can't, because it's such a big gap that you'll end up falling down. If you actually do what I did there, though, we'll make it across. And I think that is slightly faster than going down there. Nothing much else to say about that, though. But there you go. I mean, there's that. Sorry. Anyway, we're near the end now. But I didn't get all my points yet. Look at my fucking points right now. It's below the high score. Well, don't worry, I got a full bar, and they're so far behind, I can just edge myself at the finish line, get my points by doing Hill Fever 1000s over and over again, and then land backwards. And as Reggie's hair phases through her face for some fucking reason, it's probably behind her head, we are now done with the competition race, and we can now go and do the slalom, which is just the gate shit. Xindictive, your boy Xindictive, he actually played this game before, and there was a whole bit about how Blank Tester fucking hates this show. Mainly because I believe he lived in the area that this was based in, and he just found this to be really bad representation of that area. Of, like, that very culture. For someone who definitely wasn't a part of that, because I'm in Australia, so I'm very much away from it, but as someone who isn't from that culture, I thought the show was fine. I thought it was fun. I thought it was neat. I thought there was some good episodes. And I thought, you know, having a sports show for kids back then, without it just being boring sports shit, and, you know, being a cartoon at all, I think Rocket Power did good with that. It definitely is one-sided, generic, and quite honestly a bit shit, but I think the show did what it came to do, and I think it was an enjoyable watch. And as a kid, it didn't hurt me in any way. Because I kind of forgot most of it. But I did enjoy my time with it. And also, I just beat the slalom already. That's it. I will say, the music in this game definitely does give me vibes of Rocket Power in a way. But it's just very... It's not bad. I would say the music in this game is okay, but this song in particular plays so fucking much. It drones. And it's just sucky. Also, Rhythm is next. Rhythm. Great name. We have to get second place now. We can't get third, we must get second place now. We must be better than this. We're already getting first, every time, so it doesn't fucking matter. But yeah, now it's time for Reggie to be in her bike and to take care of this challenge herself, which I'm pretty sure she'll have no issue with. This area is actually really easy, especially another trick, because there is a lot of ramps and shit to work with. It's a shorter area, I think, than the last dirt area of the bike. And not only that, I believe there's more clocks here too, so you can get more time out of it. And I think you got more time out of it anyway. We get like, what, 2 minutes out of it? Look at that fucking graphic there, the snow mite graphic. Oh my god. I gotta add that some of the instruments being used in the music of this game, I have heard from fucking Flash games. It's kind of funny knowing that. This music here, this song is fucking weird. Like there are some music in this game, some songs, that I don't think fits Rocket Power. Like, the main song you hear throughout this game, yes, that definitely is a song I would hear from the show. But this... I would maybe hear a bit of this when it comes to Sam, when it comes to nerd moments. But I would not hear a lot of this song in the show. And it would be much more basic than this, too, in its song. And again, it would only be for Sam. So, really, there are some songs here that just are generic music that don't really fit with the show that this game is based on. And that's something that's just fucking fantastic. And again, the theme song of Rocket Power is made by fucking Devo. Made by the Whip It dudes. They can make some good fucking songs. This is below anything they've made. Anyway, now that we're done with that, we're done with Reggie, which means we only have one more stage left, 4 more levels to go, 1 more character to play as, the Otto Man himself, Otto Rocket. Time for a cutscene.
Man, Team Rocket is unstoppable!
No doubt.
Unfortunately, Rocket Boards is still doing slow business. I appreciate the help, gang, but I'm afraid the shop is gonna have to close anyway.
Aw, man. Rocket Boards can't close. I've shopped around, and they have the best shoelaces in town.
We're just gonna have to enter the final stage of competition and hope for the best.
Hope for the best? Squid, if we win the finals, I guarantee Rocket Boards will be saved.
I hope you're right, Otto.
Well, we're nearly there, so don't worry. We'll be saving Rocket Boards in no time, because we're in stage 4 of the Big Air, the final snowboarding event. Which, finally, after all of these fucking snowboarding ones, this is the only snowboard stage where we can actually get sent back to the start so that we can get more points and shit. Well over fucking due, honestly. Anyway, this is Otto, and he is sort of the main character of the entire show. A lot of the events of the show revolve around him. So, yeah. I would say that it's either Otto or Sam that the show revolves around the most, because Sam is the outsider, he is the visitor, so he is what starts the show essentially, as he is the newbie who meets the group. Otto, however, is the lead man, he is the showman, he is the dude that does a lot of the extreme shit, and he is the one that always tries to win. So, and he's also the one we mainly see when it comes to family, so yeah, he is essentially like the main character in that sense. Reggie, I think, is a supporting character for Otto at least, and when it comes to Twister, Twister is just supporting of everybody because he's just inconsequential in a way as the joke character, as the camera guy. Especially since his main thing is for his brother to be a thing, to be the antagonist of the group, essentially. But yeah, as you can tell, all the characters have the same moves, the same stats, it's just the voice acting, which does get really irritating, which is why I haven't mentioned it in a while, until now. Because seriously, this shit is just fucking obnoxious. But as you can see, we get teleported back to the start, and all of the items respawn too, so every time we get here, we can just grab a bunch of clocks, bring some more time for us, and keep going down. I believe you can actually end up teleporting back maybe 5 times by doing what I'm doing here. Though I think you're gonna end up only having like 4 jumps out of this before it ends. I've been missing a lot of the clocks though, so I only get to just make it halfway before I end up getting the fucking boot. Also, as you can tell, I'm now getting like 5 to 6 seconds out of these, so the clocks have definitely risen in how much time I get back, which is cool. And there you go. And with a fantastic camera angle, thanks game, we are now done with the snowboarding, which is honestly the worst of all 4 of these types. Let's be honest here, the fact it took till now for us to be able to have more time to snowboard should tell you what you need to know about how fucking lame the snowboard was in this game. Anyway, now that's out of the way, we can now move on forward to, I believe, our final attempt at Snowmart trying to fuck with us, as we try to go to Dogbone and end up not going there, but instead, we end up going to Downhill. Snowmart team challenges to another race. We have to actually beat them or else we drop out of the next competition. We're in our rollerblades. It is now time to race against the fuckers once more. The last race. And it's at nighttime. So, fuck curfews then. Because curfew, I think, was a thing. It was an episode about curfew. I believe Otto tried to get out of curfew, like, sneakily, for a challenge from Lars and such. I think that was an episode. I'm sure somebody out there who has expressed knowledge and memory of the show will tell me where I am with these. You know, tell me the name of the fucking episodes and shit, and let me know about that crap, because I'm pretty sure that shit did happen. I'm pretty sure there were episodes like that. Anyway, this jump kind of sucks. This bridge jump is just kind of weird and awkward. I'm not a fan of it. You can't even get in the water. The water is just a wall, so fuck the water. Oh, by the way, in Cedric, when he played this, he couldn't find the exit. And to be fair, the exit is very obvious, but when I noticed the cones, I was like, oh, is this it? Like, I noticed this big gap, and oh, cones? Oh, there we go. So yeah, I noticed this big gap, and I was like, maybe it's here. So yeah. All I had to do was just go to the very up area, and then look around there, and I'd be able to find it. So there you go. But yeah, that's very not straightforward exit compared to everything else in this game, to be fair. Anyway, now that's out of the way, we can now move on forward to the fucking dog bone arena thing, which has a loop, as you can tell. And it is a gotta get second thing. And look, there's bones on the book now, because it's called dog bone. Get it? You fucking get it. You fucking get it. Anyway, Dogbone is also the last unique map. I know. We have one more level left, and I'm saying that. Anyway, if you go and hit the loop, you will get an item out of it. And that item, you might not have recognized that, but that is Otto and Reggie Rocket's dad. Ray, or Raymundo. You've been seeing him in the cutscenes. He is, you know, the owner of Rocket Boards. He is also the owner of the bar that they serve food and such for, with Tito, his best mate. He's gone through a lot of shit, and believe it or not, he used to be a really fucking good surfer. In fact, Rocket Power, while it has had a lot of, you know, skateboarding and bikes and shit, was majority of the time either about hockey, I think skateboarding, like rollerblading as well, at least, and for the most part, surfing. We have had bikes, we've had rollerblades, we have skateboards, and we have had snowboards. Why the fuck did they never even try to give us a surfing game with Rocket Power, considering the most consistent sport shown in Rocket Power is fucking surfing? I'm pretty sure that sport has shown up in the show more times than any other sport. It has been thematically part of the show, in fact. I'm so fucking confused on why there is just no surfing game for this show. That would have been the most obvious choice you could have made, had you taken, like, 2 or 3 episodes in of the show, at the very least. You would have fucking noticed that, you would have noticed hockey. It's fine, it's still extreme sports, but it's not really, you know, it's missing a core sport that is a core thing with the show. Like, even in the story, it is very much integral to the fucking story of Rocket Power. Anyway, we now must get first in the stadium. We're going back to the stadium. Except the stadium has changed a little bit. That dirt area is now locked off. And that's it. That's all they did. They locked off an area that was already there. And that's all they did. That's the only change they fucking did. There's nothing else. You even start in the same spot. But now, there's gates around there, so you can't go into the dirt area. But everything else is still here. Everything else is still available. What's the fucking point? Anyway, our final character unlockable is here in the stadium. Part 2, I guess you could call it. And this is the weirdest thing. The stadium, both stadiums, have a character that you can unlock, and they are both characters that are not Rocket Power. They are not part of the show. But they are part of a show they're both in. That is also Nickelodeon. It's also Nicktoons. So, tell me, when you think of popular Nicktoon shows from back then in the 90s, what is the thought that comes to your head? And as a fucking tip for you, no, it's not SpongeBob. You probably thought that, considering I've done SpongeBob games on this channel, and considering how much of a massive fucking deal SpongeBob is to Nickelodeon. But back then, he wasn't that big of a deal. So, what is it then? What was the big deal? Did you see that? Both times, you probably didn't see that. Don't worry, you'll see it soon. In about, like, 10 minutes, I think. But, yeah, that's it. We now have every character unlockable, except one, but we'll get to that. But as it stands, once we beat this, story mode is done. Once we get first tier, we are done with story mode, and all we have left is Tito's challenge, which, yes, where the last unlockable character is. So, pretty much, as soon as we beat that, we will 100% the game, and we'll be done with this. Thank fuck. But after beating this, we do have a cutscene to watch, so let's end this as Otto Rocket wins the tournament, and like some of the show, he wins the fucking gold, because he's done that a lot in this fucking show. He usually is the winner for the most part. So yeah, there you go. So, what is the ending of Rocket Power Team Rocket Rescue?
Oh, yeah!
I think I'd be used to it by now, but winning trophies never gets old.
You said it.
Raymundo, check it out! We got first place!
I know. I heard all about it.
You did?
I've been following you kids throughout the whole competition. I'm a writer for Skate and Shred magazine, and you dudes are wicked fat. The next issue is gonna be all you, cover to back.
Yes!
Yes!
We couldn't have done it without our rocket board gear.
That's why I'm giving Raymundo free ads in my mag for his 2001 rocket board range. Everyone should be writing this stuff.
Free ads? For my 2001 range? That'll save the shop!
Save the shop? We did it!
Yeah! I told you there was nothing to worry about.
Well, I don't know about you, but I think that ending was pretty FAT! Okay, so that is the end of story mode. But now we have Tito's challenge, and Tito is quite honestly, to me, the best character of the fucking show. Here is Ray Rocket, or Raymundo. We're playing as him, because I told you we're doing the entire Rocket family, and I fucking meant it. Tito's challenge involves collecting 6 shells within a certain amount of time. You can also do it in multiplayer. In this single player, it's 6 shells. In multiplayer, it is 12 shells. The time does not change, however. For the first level, it is 90 seconds. And the first level is... basically, it's all of the collectible levels that we've done. It literally is just that. Well, it's actually this, and then it is 2 collectible levels, and then it is, the stadium again. So yeah, Ray, he is essentially kind of like an Otto, at least back then. But yeah, he really was like a sports dude back then. He was mainly a surf dude. He's out of his prime, in a sense, nowadays. Because he basically runs the bar and shit. He basically just serves food, owns a brand, and keeps that all running. He doesn't really do sport anymore. However, he was definitely a surfing, like, really good surfer, according to the show. So that was his main thing. Which shows how integral surfing is to this fucking show, because it's literally a part of this character. It's also a part of his friend Tito's character, who is a Hawaiian, and Tito likes to give a lot of Hawaiian, like fucking sayings and shit. Like the ancient Hawaiians, you know, he likes to bring that up. Really a lot of advice coming from this guy. And he really was one of the best characters of the show. I think it was one of the fan favorites of the show. He was memed a lot. I'm pretty sure he was memed. But he was definitely a loved character of the show, and he was even given his own storyline that was honestly pretty decent of like a Hawaiian culture sort of episode. I think Tito's story was definitely something special in a way. But yeah, this is his challenge, and his challenge just kind of sucks. It's just getting shells. That's it. And we're now in the city area, so you can already tell this is just that fucking collectible area. And we'll be going back to the fucking theme park area for more shells. And then back to the stadium for more shells. They do lower down, but they lower down to I think about 60 seconds at the end of it all. So really not that much. And also, you saw on the camera that we only got to see Ray's fucking hat. The camera is really bad for characters that are, well, older than the kids, than the Team Rocket kids. You know? Well, Rocket Power kids, I mean. But yeah, like, as soon as I complete this, our camera gives us feet. Okay. Okay. Yeah, feet pics. Okay, thanks. Yeah. Anyway. Now it's time for us to do the other half tiers challenge, which we're going to the theme park. The third challenge, 6 shells in 70 seconds. So yeah, it's going down by 10 seconds. You got 90, then 80, then 70, now again 60 in the next one. And that's it. And we get our last character out of that. Can you guess what that character is? I'm pretty sure you can. I'm pretty sure it's really fucking obvious. But let's just hold it back for a little bit. But yeah. This has been Team Rocket Rescue. Now, from my research, there are definitely some fucking bad Rocket Power games. Like, this one is one of the bad ones. However, there are some fairly decent ones out there, and I have 2 of them. One of them was for the Game Boy Advance. In fact, the Game Boy Advance game was also going to be a 3D Xbox game, essentially, like a PS2 Xbox game, but it was cancelled. The beta is out there, but as it stands, it is completely unfinished and was going to be like the Tony Hawk games and such, of how it controls and such. The other game, however, is released, and I have it on PS2, and we're getting fucking crotch shot. Thanks. But yeah. If you want me to play through that game, the PS2 game, I can. It's just, it's more adventure-based than it is sport-based like this. Though there are sports in it, it definitely is more adventure-based. So keep that in mind. It's not a sports game, which makes you question things, but it's not a fucking sports game. It has moments of sports, with mini-games, but it's not a sports game. It's an adventure game, a 3D platformer, essentially. Anyway, now it is time for us to do our final one, which is the stadium, and it's gonna be a fucking joke. Because the stadium is so small that I pretty much beat this maybe half the time given to me. I'm doing it with the bike, too. So yeah, even this guy gets to be in all the rides, except for snowboard. You might have noticed there was no snowboarding at all during this. For the fucking best. Anyway, that'll do it. And with that, we are now done with the game. We have beaten the game 100%, as we have done story mode of all the characters unlocked from that, and now we have fully completed Tito's challenge, which was just that. It was just that. It was just fucking 4 levels of that. And with that, we get a secret character. It's Tito. It's Tito. It's pretty obviously Tito. So, let's have a look at all the characters we've unlocked so far. Because we know we got Lars, we know we got Spuds, we know we got Ray here. Here's Lars. We know we have Conroy Blanc, that's the guy. There's Pie Piston. There's Spuds Ringley. There's Tito, and then we get the characters that are not a part of Rocket Power, Angela and Tommy from Rugrats. Rugrats was the shit of Nicktoons back then, but you didn't expect him to be in this game, did you? I'm gonna show Tommy at least. But, yeah. This was the thing. This was the fucking thing. And yeah, Rugrats was the big fucking show back then, Nickelodeon. They had, you know, All Grown Up afterwards. They had a kindergarten one with Angelica back then, which completely fucking bombed. All Grown Up, I think, did well. But yeah, as soon as SpongeBob came into the scene, Rugrats was just fucked. They had no staying power at that point, because SpongeBob was here, and SpongeBob is here to stay, and he is never gonna leave, and he still hasn't left, and he's being milked so fucking harshly. I'm surprised there's anything left in him. It's sad, it's pathetic, it's shit. It just goes to show you how fucking far Nickelodeon have just fallen. But, yeah. That is the game. I am now going to show the credits, which the credits song I actually kind of like. But, let's talk about the game, shall we? Let's talk about what I think about this game. It's shit. Okay, I'll say some more. It was really not fun to play through. It was really clunky and awkward. It was very easy to break. The cutscenes were just shit. And honestly, for a game based on Rocket Power, this was very lame. THQ has made better games with the PS1 and beyond, essentially. And there is a better Rocket Power game out there compared to this fucking game. But, yeah. We're done with this now. Which means that next time I gotta do a new game. I've done 2 games I've beaten for 2 videos each. That's sad. So we gotta fucking figure out what I gotta do next time. And I will do that next time in the channel. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all for a new Let's Play that isn't shit like this.